Good afternoon. It is 1 p.m. Thanks for tuning in to Fox Local. I'm Lauren Andrego, and we are here tracking your winter storm conditions as snow blows across the Twin Cities and impacts your travel on the roads and in the skies all across the state. Here is a live look at your roads right now. This is 494 passing Great Wolf Lodge headed toward the airport. Looks like roads are fully plowed here, and we are sitting at 32 degrees, which means that treatment on the road is working for the most part. But on your side streets, ramps, bridges, we are seeing dozens of crashes, and that extends to the greater Minnesota areas as well. Let's take a live look at the airport. I believe we have a shot up there where MSP is currently experiencing a ground delay. You can see visibility is a concern. Snow is covering the runways. We have heard reports of some planes stuck on the tarmac for up to 2 hours, and it sounds like they are shutting a couple runways down to take care of all that snow. 287 total delays is what FlightAware is reporting in and out of MSP Airport. We are one of the most affected airports today in the country because of weather delays. 70 cancellations as well here at 1:01 p.m. That ground delay expected to be in place until midnight tonight. So if you have any flights here and into early Monday morning, could be impacted by this winter storm. Let's take a look at some of our jam cams all across the Twin Cities where we are seeing quite a few incidents. This is 94 at 280, where a couple minutes ago we saw a vehicle upside down stuck in the ditch. It looks like law enforcement still there on the scene, but plenty of slick spots, especially on your ramps off of highways where people are taking turns at high speeds. Another look here. This is 94 at Dayton Parkway. This is in the Albertville area toward between Albertville and Maple Grove. Partially covered roads here, even on major interstates like 94. MnDOT has over 100 plows out there. There are a lot of private plows heading through towns too. But if you see right there out to the right of your screen, even those on-ramps are fully covered with snow and ice this afternoon. Here's a look at 169 and 494. This is in Bloomington near the north end of Shakopee, a usual problem spot over the Minnesota River. And we've got one vehicle off in the ditch. It looks like we might have two tow trucks there on the scene and slow moving traffic in one direction headed north on 169. We're seeing about a dozen different incidents just like this happening across. Meteorologist Jared Piepenberg has been tracking these conditions all day. He's got a live look here from CHS Field, looking pretty snowy over there in St. Paul.
Yeah, I thought I'd just show a couple of our cameras that we have access to here in the Weather Center. And this one this morning had mainly grass out on the field from all the warm temperatures that we've had recently and some of that rain. Now that's filled in with some snow. A couple other places to check out. Let's head up kind of toward the Brainerd-Baxter area. This is on Gull Lake. Not too long ago, visibility was really good. Now snow has picked up a little bit, and there's a little breeze out there, although not included in the blizzard warning, but there's some snow coming down in that area. And then I've been watching some anglers. I have a feeling today this little hut you see there in the center of the screen, they've been moving that around. It's really mild out around the Twin Cities, but I imagine it's going to be one of those days like, remember when right after Christmas we went out and we fished out on White Bear Lake as that snow system was moving on in? One of those sort of days, because there's not a whole lot of wind, so it's doable out there right now, but the breeze is just about to pick up for the Twin Cities and surrounding area. So that's what they're dealing with across parts of the area. I probably should put my graphics on instead of just this camera here. So it's like, why doesn't the clicker work? Give me a second here, folks. Been at this for a while. Yes. All right. So here we go, folks. We got the folks out and about here on White Bear Lake enjoying the snow as it's been falling gently for a while, accumulating. Earlier this morning, this was just basically all ice. Now having some patches of snow. Down in southwestern Minnesota, this is one of the DOT cameras here where that snow is just whipping across those roadways. This is not too far away from Sioux Falls, so this is extreme southwestern part of the state where snow may be coming to an end here, but it may still look like this as the winds are really, really strong, grabbing any of that loose snow and blowing that across the roadways. And some of that light, fluffy snow gets caught up in the atmosphere too, even if the snow ends, and still whips it around. Call that a ground blizzard. 26 temperatures finally starting to drop here on the Twin Cities. Northwest winds at 23 miles per hour. The breeze is just starting to pick up around the metro. Rob was out just in this past half hour and just said, he even said, past 45 minutes feels like the temperature has dropped and the wind's been picking up, and that has been the case. So it is starting to feel colder. We're getting that connection with some colder temperatures later on today. It'll probably be another 10 plus degrees colder by late afternoon hours for us. All right, so we got snow coming down for the Twin Cities and some of the heavier snow bands across Wisconsin right now. The system's just kind of pivoting right now, and all this snow you kind of see is going like this. It'll still kind of, a lot of that moisture will wrap around, and we'll still have periods of snow throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. How about wind gusts this past hour? 44 in Wilmer, 41 in New Ulm, Windham 38, Marshall 38, 40 Mankato. These are the areas that have the blizzard warning. It's really gusty out across the west and southwest. And of course, anytime that lines up with some snow falling, reduces visibility and just creates really tough travel and almost nearly impossible in some places where visibility goes so low out there. So keep in mind, a lot of these reporting stations are near city limits. So you might still be able to see a decent amount of distance. But once you leave your town, or, I got to go across to the next town over, and you got 6 miles of farmland between there, that's where you're going to run into some major issues, potentially, of not being able to see out on those roadways, as visibility could go very low. It's been showing around a half mile at the airport there, but for the Twin Cities, not really expecting those blizzard conditions. But those farmland areas of western and northwestern Minnesota, southwestern parts of the state as well, where those gusts are hitting in the 40s very frequently, that is where we're having the major issues. So that's why we had the blizzard warning in effect for late tonight. Even though snow will come to an end, blizzard warning goes until 6 a.m. because it could still be gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour even into the early morning hours of tomorrow, creating blizzard conditions just at the surface. Ground blizzard is what we call that. Winter storm warning for the purple shaded area, including the Twin Cities metro. This is likely we're going to have our heaviest snowfall and potentially not as strong of winds as the counties just off toward the west, but it's still going to be very difficult travel as that snow continues to pile up. If you're someone who likes to do this in different waves, meaning measure or just take the snow off your driveway, these winds are going to pick up here throughout the afternoon. That's going to blow it right back in, especially as the temperatures cool down. It's going to become a different type of snow because the snow that's falling in the metro right now isn't moving. But later on, it could be because it's going to turn colder and turn into a lighter, fluffier snow on top of that. So this afternoon, it's still snowing. It's still blowing. This evening, it's still snowing. It's still blowing out there. After midnight, we're going to start to wave goodbye to some of the falling, accumulating snow. This is 1:30 with Futurecast. It won't time out exactly like this, but I'm just showing you after midnight, a lot of the accumulating snow is going to come to a close. But the breeze is still going to be out there. That's still going to be whipping that snow around, and it's going to create some blowing and drifting into that morning commute for Monday. Here's 7:30 tomorrow. Starting to see some sunshine through the cloud deck. It'll become a really bright, sunny, but raw day, meaning that those temperatures and those feels like temperatures especially will be sub-zero almost all day long for you. It's going to be a cold one and a sunny one as we head toward the day on Monday. But tomorrow morning, I still think it's going to be a very difficult and slow commute out there, just with that breeze and how cold it is and grabbing some of that loose snow and blowing it across the roadways. The breeze does back off tomorrow afternoon. Grab the sunglasses for any travel tomorrow, as it will be a very bright one, especially with all that fresh snow that'll be reflecting off there. Still leaning toward 4 to 8 for parts of the Twin Cities and especially across Wisconsin. We have the 8 plus because there will be some places that come in over 8 inches out there. So just keep that in mind. In some places over western and central Minnesota, tough to measure when you have gusts frequently hitting 45 miles per hour, as part of your driveway has a couple inches and the other side has a foot and a half. You're going to pick up snow. If you're someone who likes to do this in waves, like I'm going to go out and do this now. Well, in a couple hours, a lot of that's going to blow right back in there. So you can do it whatever way you want to remove that snow, or wait till tomorrow when those winds back off by midday into the afternoon. Wind speeds, these are sustained winds, 35 in New Ulm. That isn't a gust. That's sustained at 35 miles per hour. That's why we had the blizzard warning out there for parts of southwestern and western parts of the state. Along that I-94 corridor into the southwest, that's likely we're going to have the strongest winds all afternoon. This is Futurecast wind gust pause this evening. Here's Futurecast wind gusts at midnight. Still really windy even as that snow ends. That's why I said that we may have that ground blizzard type of scenario late tonight into early tomorrow morning, where it's grabbing any loose snow, blowing it around. If it gets caught up in the atmosphere, it can still whip around. Even though it's not snowing anymore, it's still out and about, just in the air. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, those winds will back off. It's just going to take a little bit of the day to get there before those winds start to diminish. It's a blank map I apparently put in my weather show, but as we head through the timeline of today into tonight, tomorrow, temperatures are falling right now. We're going to be around 15 this afternoon. Tonight, snow ends later on, probably after midnight, but snowfall-wise, 4 to 7 inches not out of the question here throughout the next multiple hours, adding up, and then additional little bits after, 9, 10, 12 o'clock there for you, and then we'll wave goodbye to that. Tomorrow, sunshine, a bright day, but cold. If you're thinking, oh, finally get some fresh snow, kids can go out and play on that. It's been kind of dreary and rainy actually. Well, may on the way till Tuesday, especially with the little kiddos to play on this, because tomorrow is going to be a really cold day. We're talking feels like temperatures sub-zero all day long. Your Sunday forecast here, temperatures have been falling. I mean, we're already in the mid-20s, becoming very windy coming up here. Tonight, 8. Snow ends after midnight, then blowing snow, drifting snow likely into that morning commute. 11, feeling like 5 below at the warmest part of the day for your Monday forecast. Where's that 7-day forecast? I got it somewhere in here, Lauren. I don't know. I know. Come on, Jared. I don't know what's going on here. We're going to come back. If you're, graphics are going crazy.
You know what? You've had a long day and a lot of slides that you've been looking at, Jared.
Sean's asked me, wants to give it. All right. What do we want to do, Lori? Do you want to come back to me a little bit? Okay.
Good. Okay, Jared, thank you so much. As we know, Sunday, one of the busiest travel days of the holiday season typically, but travel has been slowed down across the state in the air and on the roads. Here's another live look at MSP Airport, where we've been reporting a ground delay has been in effect for about 2 hours. Major delays, nearly 100 cancellations. And as you can see, conditions are not looking great yet there at MSP in the Bloomington area. Our Leon Purvis is at MSP Airport. Getting a look at what's going on there on the ground at the airport. Good afternoon, Leon. What are you seeing?
Hey, Lauren. Well, we see some steady traffic. Just take a look down over this balcony that we're above. You see people at check-in and also bag drop-off. The traffic is steady. People are coming here. But the thing is that you have to look out for is when your flight is going to be leaving, okay? Right now, according to mspairport.com, for arrivals, there's 42 canceled, 49 delayed, and 370 flights on time. Now, for departures, 37 canceled, 60 delayed, and 353 on time. So if you do plan to hit the skies today, make sure you are keeping up with your updates. Make sure you're checking your flight online, or when you come to the airport, check out the departure board. But as you can see, traffic is very steady. Now, what I will say, standing from right here, I can see the TSA all passengers. It says less than a 5-minute wait to get through security as of right now, from what I can see right here. But again, we don't know what's going to come later tonight. It looks like things are steady right now when it comes to at the departure center right here. But again, we still have to keep updated on what's going to happen later, because again, this is a very, very fluid situation with the snow continuing to fall. And as you mentioned yourself, Lauren, there's been some ground delays as well. So we're going to continue to be out here throughout the evening, afternoon, and also talk to people, see what they're experiencing, see if they experience any delays or cancellations, and what kind of plans they had to pivot to, with today being a huge travel day. Because this weekend alone, between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's expected to be more than 50,000 travelers coming out of MSP. So again, this is also a post-Christmas travel day for a lot of people as well, along with the snowstorm. So we're going to continue to monitor everything here. For now, live at MSP, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.
All right, Leon, live at MSP, thank you so much for your insight. We will check back in with you in just a bit. We have that 7-day forecast. Well, first, let's go to Kelsey Carlson. She is live on Zoom this afternoon. I believe she's in Wisconsin for a look at how things are looking there. Good afternoon, Kelsey.
Hi, guys. Yeah, we're just outside of Chautauqua, Wisconsin. It's kind of the opposite of the airport. My dog is barking because my family just returned from the store getting some water and some things that we're going to need for the next 24 hours. So you might hear a little bit of noise in the background, but yeah, it's really, really quiet. I know they're like, what are you doing, Mom? Got a little eye roll. But yeah, it's quiet here. We've been watching the snow come down since about 11 o'clock this morning. And I thought I'd show you just what it looks like out on the lake right now. Let me just flip the camera view. And like Jared was saying, I know anglers are anxious to get out on the lakes because of the warmer temperatures. we just haven't seen as many people out. But now that it's going to cool down a bit, we expect the lake to kind of be full. But it is so quiet here. I mean, people are not out. The store is out of eggs. It is just kind of a place where everybody's just hunkered down until this passes. But nice for us that we get a couple of days here at our cabin to just do nothing, quite frankly. I feel bad for Leon right now because kind of in the belly of the beast.
Yeah, your shot is looking quite zen, Kelsey, compared to what Leon is experiencing. Have you stepped outside today? What is it feeling like outside?
Yeah, actually, I went for a run this morning because it was in the upper 30s. So it's been great. It's been nice and mild. And then we went out maybe an hour ago. Again, it's not bad yet. The roads were still really warm. So as the snow was hitting the surface, it was just melting. It's just now starting to kind of pile up. So we're seeing those heavy flakes. Almost, if you look off in the distance, it almost looks like it's snowing in slow motion. It's really, really pretty. But yeah, we're just hanging out, playing games, reading books, watching Stranger Things. So if you guys talk to somebody in Wisconsin, check in with me throughout the day.
We absolutely will. But Kelsey, I love the sound of your itinerary. I think that's what a lot of folks
spoilers.
are going to be doing. Yeah,
no spoilers.
No spoilers,
I'm trying
please.
to watch Stranger Things right now, get caught up.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think there's a couple people in our building who are doing the same thing. That was Kelsey Carlson in Wisconsin, enjoying her Christmas.
They're just ahead of where the colder air, the connection with that wind and that snow is located. So they're probably going to have a beautiful little snowfall here for a little while. And then things change. I mean, in the Twin Cities, it's changing as we're talking right now.
Yeah, and we've been following a no travel advisory in southwest Minnesota and south central Minnesota. All major highways, travel is not advised, basically from Worthington to Mankato up to New Prague, and it's headed in our direction. We've been dealing with that blowing snow. So the snow's not just falling, but wind is pushing more of it back onto the highways. So as plows head out, and there are hundreds of them out across the state, it doesn't take long for that work to be undone. So all non-essential travel not advised across I-90, 169, Highway 14, and all your major highways across south central Minnesota.
Yeah. So the colors you see there on the map, that dark purple shaded area, which is dominating most of the area southwest of the Twin Cities down in southern Minnesota, that's your no travel advised. Now, if you look closely, it's similar color, but there's pink. That's mostly covered with either snow or slush, and then the blue is partially covered, which is probably going to be some snow and slush as well. And these fluctuate because the plows go and cover those roads, and then they fill back in with some snow and driving. It's always changing anyway as the day goes forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a look at some cities that have issued snow emergencies. We told you about St. Louis Park here in the metro, Northfield and St. James in southern Minnesota, Eden Prairie where we are here in southwestern Minnesota, where the snow has been falling for about 4 hours now, and recently issued West St. Paul now under a snow emergency. New Hope also declaring a snow emergency there in the North Metro. So make sure to check in with your city. Every city has different rules and different times and when these go into place. But the last thing you want to do to end out your 2025 is being stuck in a tow yard.
Exactly.
Here's a look at our Fox 9 weather tracker, which has been out all morning tracking your road conditions here in a Target parking lot, which is looking partially covered with that compacted snow. Those trees do look pretty with this wind blowing this afternoon.
They do. So temperatures are going to continue to fall this afternoon, and the treatment on those roads usually works to about mid-teens. But as temperatures fall, into the single digits later on tonight, then we really just need to watch that out there. The roads are still going to be really slippery for tomorrow. Winds are picking up, and it's just going to be a cold, icy one tomorrow morning.
As a lot of folks head back to their work week.
Yeah. It might be a short one for some, but I think that morning commute on Monday is still going to be pretty tough.
Okay. Jared, thank you so much. 1:18 now. We're going to take a break and return at 1:30 with another look at your forecast and your road conditions. And we'll check back in at MSP Airport, dealing with significant delays, cancellations, and a ground delay as they deal with snow and visibility concerns across the metro.